drizzle. But it's evolved into a full-scale, all-out football thunderstorm. Today, the World League returns for its top four season as the Orlando Thunder showcase their version of Thunderball, a high-octane, high-tech football force. There's a new team with thoughts of conquering the League of the World. This season, we hail the red, white, and blue of the Ohio Glory. Color synonymous with the new land. The world returns to America as the Glory and the Thunder tangle in Fantasyland. Next on ABC.
Welcome, everyone, to Orlando, the jewel of Central Florida. And today, we're at the Citrus Bowl for the 1992 World League debut of the Ohio Glory and the Orlando Thunder. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, and welcome to ABC's coverage of the World League. Hey, the last time we checked in, we're in the Royal Box in Wembley Stadium in London. The Monarchs being crowned World League champions for 1991. This is 92. We're back despite the pessimism, and we will play 10 weeks of regional football coverage here on ABC, including a playoff game as the season builds towards a crescendo at the World Bowl in Montreal. Well, working with me this afternoon, another World League veteran of 2 years anyway, Tim Brandt. Tim, a lot of the talk in the World League this year definitely surrounds the NFL enhancement players and what kind of effect that is going to have on the play.
Well, an instant effect. I think what happens now with the influx of NFL players is you have experience, depth, and you have credibility to this league perhaps it didn't have last year. Now, when the NFL loaned players to teams, they did it with geographical proximity and the teams with similar styles and terminology and nuances, so they'll basically be the same. Now, instead of skepticism, I think this league has some optimism.
Now, you talked about proximity. Last year, the balance of power definitely in Europe. The North American East Division was one of the more competitive ones, and this is how it stacks up this year. The Knights, the Orlando Thunder, the Montreal Machine, and the newest member of the World League, the Ohio Glory. In the North American West Division, the Birmingham Fire, led by Chan Gailey, the head coach, they are the defending division champions, along with the San Antonio Riders and Mike Riley, and the Sacramento Surge back with Kay Stevenson. In the European Division, the defending champs, World Bowl champions, the London Monarchs, the Barcelona Dragons are the runner-ups from last year, and the Frankfurt Galaxy. Tim, when you talk about the playoffs, they've already kind of played an important part of the playoffs when it comes to a tiebreaker system. It figures to be something very unique in football when you look at the tie-breaking system.
Well, what they did is they took the exhibition game from last week. That becomes the tiebreaker for the end of the year. And what happens if you look at those rosters of teams, the teams are the same, the faces have changed. Raleigh-Durham's gone and Ohio's still there. But again, you see the influx of NFL talent. And I think now as the playoffs begin, you'll see where the power last year, as you mentioned, was in Europe. Now it could be across the board, at least on paper. It looks like the domestic teams here in the United States are stronger.
Now let's have a look at the tie-breaking scores. That was the game played last week. These teams, Orlando winning, San Antonio winning, London, Sacramento, and the Knights also winning their games. That will be the second most important criteria when it comes to determining who makes the playoffs. Now, today we've got Ohio against Orlando. Let's start with the Orlando Thunder, a receiver with a little bit of talent. He can play some. He's been to the big show.
He really has. An old friend of mine, Joe Howard Johnson, he played at Notre Dame. He's played with the Washington Redskins. He is on loan from the Redskins. Had 10 catches in the game against Barcelona last week. Now, I think it's too early to draw double coverage. I think Ohio will try to stay basic. But keep in mind now, there's a no-bump rule against receivers here. The DB cannot come up and make contact with him. And with that rule, an experienced quarterback like the Thunder have in Scott Mitchell, 3 5-step drop, it'll be virtually impossible to stop a 5-yard gain to Hojo.
quarterbacks will be testing that no-bump rule, no doubt, along with the receivers. The quarterback for the Ohio Glory, the Gypsy, a guy that's got a lot of frequent flyer mileage.
The Babe Laufenberg. He, too, has been around the block. Washington Redskins, San Diego, back with the Redskins, had a stop with the Saints, and now the World League. They bring him into a new team. This Ohio team's only been together for a month or so. They bring a guy like this in as the stabilizer. He's the solidifier to a very relatively inexperienced ball club.
Well, for the Ohio Glory coach, a return to Orlando is a homecoming of sorts, and for more on that story, let's go downstairs now to Julie Moran. Julie?
Well, Mark, in their first regular season game, the Ohio Glory are in the Sunshine State, although there's not a lot of sunshine today, but that suits head coach Larry Little just fine. After a 12-year stint with the Dolphins and a Super Bowl ring, he became athletic director at Miami Edison High School, and then in 1983, he was named head coach at Bethune-Cookman. So Mark and Tim, making his World League debut is very appropriate here in Florida.
And, Julie, we're going to see just how things will work out in the future for head coach Larry Little. Tracy Bennett will kick it off for the Orlando Thunder. Back deep to receive the kickoff, Amir Rasul and Adam Walker for the Glory. And it lands 1 yard deep. It goes to Walker.
Walker taking the kickoff.
Walker's got an alley. Walker with a nice return of 37 yards out to the 36. And the Glory will start with good field position. Joe Howard Johnson making the tackle on the kickoff. And a look at Babe Laufenberg, the guy we talked about just a few moments ago. He's the starting quarterback for the Glory. Laufenberg has been to Stanford and Indiana, as well as a host of other schools. And in the pros, we just said that he was well-traveled as well. First down and 10. The ball is on the 35-yard line. The backs line up in the I. The handoff goes to Rasul. Rasul with a nice gain out to the 41-yard line, or close to the 41, a gain of close to 5. And now a look at the backs and the receivers for the Glory. Amir Rasul from Florida A&M. Lydell Carr, familiar name. He played for the Oklahoma Sooners on their championship team. Randy Bethel, the tight end. Melvin Patterson and Walter Wilson is the go-to receiver for the Glory. It's second down and 5 as we look at the offensive line. Mike Graybill and Ben Jefferson. You ask where the beef is? It's right up there on the front line. A fumble on the snap, and Laufenberg falls on it at 39. They'll lose about a yard on that play. Let's have a look at the defensive front now for the Orlando Thunder. On the ball, it'll be Dan Cilio out of the University of Miami. He's a local guy. Carl Dunbar, number 78 out of LSU, and Rob Presbury. Look at the linebackers, Wayne Dixon from Oklahoma, Andrews, Dean Witkowski, and Rosine Keaton from UCLA. And the defensive backs, Glenn Rogers, their best man-to-man coverage guy. It's third down and 6. Ball on the Ohio 39. Laufenberg to pass, incomplete. He tried to find Walter Wilson. Wilson looking for the pass interference call, Tim, but he doesn't get it.
No, a good play by Glenn Rogers. Rogers came up, had to do it. Now watch, if you talk about that no contact rule, you can already see the top of your screen how far off the cornerbacks are playing. Now watch Rogers close on him, though, as the ball is in the air. Good read, good break, knocks the receiver away from the ball, and now they've got a punt. Good defensive series by Orlando.
Tom Ruin, formerly of the University of Colorado, into punt now. Joe Howard Johnson back deep. Calls for the fair catch on his own 15-yard line. A nice, high, long kick of 46 yards by Ruin. So it's 3 and kick for Ohio on its first series.
Joe Howard Johnson getting a workout already. Made the opening tackle and the kickoff. Now comes back and fields a punt. And I'll guarantee you he'll be involved here early in this offensive scheme.
At quarterback, it's Scott Mitchell taking the reins for the Thunder. Howard Johnson in motion. Mitchell incomplete, right in the hands of Grantis Bell. Definitely a catchable ball. George Kuntz was there in the area to break up the play. There's a look at Scott Mitchell of the University of Utah. He was a backup, third-string quarterback, actually. He is on loan from the Miami Dolphins. And a look at his career stats at Utah. He holds 10 NCAA and 5 WAC conference records.
69 touchdowns at Utah.
And the whistle is blown as we have a timeout now on the field.
It's Ohio that takes the timeout.
Ohio. It'll be 2nd and 10 to go for the Thunder when we come back. It's the World League on ABC. We're just underway. 12:56 remaining in the first quarter. Orlando with the ball on its own 15. It was 2nd and 10. Daryl Clack with the run that time out over the 20-yard line, close to the 21.
Clack had a 7-yard touchdown run last week against Barcelona. Now, you remember him with the Dallas Cowboys, 2nd-round pick.
And the Thunder going no huddle now. Mitchell out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in the game. It's 3rd and 5. Mitchell looks to his left, and it's incomplete. Intended for number 86, Willie Davis.
Boy, it was broken up by Aaron Ruffin to the nickelback. They came in. They played a 2-deep man-under type of defensive scheme, and Ruffin was all over him. So Scott Mitchell now 0 for 2. He had 1 dropped, and that one was just an outstanding defensive play by Aaron Ruffin.
Exactly what we talked about earlier, that short out pass. Orlando going to it right there. Ray Criswell into punt now for the Thunder. Melvin Patterson back deep for Ohio. He stands on his own 35. Remember now, in the World League, everyone is eligible to go downfield on a punt. Ball punt on the 42-yard line. And Stacy Simmons drills Patterson back deep. He's on his 38 now. Now, we talked about some of the differences in the rules, but first, let's see that there's a 40-second play clock rather than 45 in the NFL.
I think we've already seen that. The speed of play, plus no huddle attack, makes it that much faster. There's no bumping by the defensive backs on the receivers. You've got the 2-point conversion like you do in college, and overtime is a maximum of 10 minutes. Not sudden death. They play the entire 10.
As well as the 2-point conversion. 1st and 10 on the 41. Loffenberg hands it off to Rasul over the left side. Dan Cilio making the tackle. Cilio, out of the University of Miami, played in 10 games as a rookie with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A very strong player.
He's the only healthy nose guard they do have. Wyatt's hurt, so they need both, I think. They want to see if Cilio can go the distance. I'm not sure he can. If he doesn't, then they'll maybe move Pressberry in there, or maybe Carl Dunbar, one of the ends, in to play nose.
Well, Tim, there's only 36 players on the roster, so not a lot of guys that you can afford to get hurt anyway.
Only 16 on defense.
2nd down and 7. Loffenberg to pass. He completes it. Out of the backfield out to the 47-yard line is Lydell Carr. He's tackled by Maurice Crum. Another look at this play, Tim.
Well, what they did is they got exactly what they wanted. They wanted Carr matched up on Crum, the linebacker. Now watch him. See, he looks to the left side where his wide receivers are. They clear out, and Carr comes underneath. Now here comes Crum, 53, the linebacker. So they had the mismatch they wanted, but the pass was a little bit behind them. It was ill-timed, and Crum had time to catch up and make the stop.
Crum on loan from the Dallas Cowboys. Looking at 3rd and 3. Rasul and Carr in the backfield. This is Carr. And he's stopped short of the 1st down at the 48-yard line by Maurice Crum and Dan Cilio. Two guys getting busy already today.
Great penetration by Crum. He came right from the get-go, and Cilio came up and stopped it. Now watch this from behind the defense. You'll see the nose guard right over top of the center. He takes the center out. Here comes Crum, 53, jumps up in that hole, doesn't hesitate, no false steps, and bang, takes him to the ground.
Bruin into punt again. The second one of the afternoon. First one went for 46 yards. That's without the wind at his back, too. This one is not quite as high, but almost as far down to the 10. Joe Howard Johnson is pushed back down to the 8-yard line. Aaron Ruffin making the stop there. So the Thunder will get their second crack on offense when we come back. Stay with us. On an overcast day, it's 1st and 10 as we look at the backs and the receivers. Simmons, Joe Howard Johnson, Grantis Bell, Daryl Clack, and Tommy Stowers, the fullback for the Thunder. Cunningham, Aronson, Lasso, Rose, and Kraft. Cunningham weighing in at well over 300 pounds. He's from Texas A&M. This is Clack. Clack hit out at the 18-yard line. as we look at the Glory defense now. That stop was made by George Kuntz, one of the more active linebackers on this squad. Sunvold, Kent Wells, a guy to watch up front, Charles Jackson, who played for Orlando last year, and Chad Rowland, the other defensive end. 2nd down and 2. Mitchell hands it off. Jono Tunney makes the tackle. Darryl Clack with the carry again. We talked about George Kuntz. He's one of the more active linebackers there. He's 6'1", 241 from East Carolina. Jono Tunney is the other one. Stacy Harvey. Jason Wallace, the guy to watch on the corner for Ohio. Mitchell hands it off. Play action fake. Keeps it himself. Mitchell, close to the first down, appears to be about a yard short before George Kuntz runs him out of bounds.
If Stowers gets a block, then this is another 15 yards for Mitchell because the defenders never even did see him. Watch 59 at the bottom of your screen. Comes up, makes contact with Stowers. Now you'll see he starts running with Stowers. He still has not seen Mitchell running with the football. Now he locates him. Stowers tries to throw a block, doesn't, and a tackle's made.
Darryl Clack is the lone back. Nice gain out over the 35 to the 36. George Kuntz with another tackle. And Orlando with a no-huddle look again.
You're going to see Kuntz start putting his head on a swivel now, and he's going to start trying to locate the football because we saw him run out of there, had no clue that the ball was coming.
4 receivers now for the Thunder. Mitchell out of the shotgun. Looks over the middle, complete.
There's Howard's first catch. Start marking him down. He had 10 last week. He's going to try to get that this week.
Joe Howard Johnson on loan from the Washington Redskins.
Now Joe's the second receiver in. Watch this now. Bang, stop, come back for the football, and there's no way you can stop that without contact. If you cannot ride and stay in his hip pocket, you're not going to have the advantage. The receiver does.
You've got to love this game. Almost looks like basketball with shoulder pads. Lots of motion. Clack with a handoff. And he's tripped up at the 46-yard line. Orlando rather innovative on offense. Julie has more. Julie?
Well, Mark and Tim, innovative is the word for the World Link, and what I'm wearing is exactly that. This is the Orlando Thunder wristband, or cheat sheet, as the players like to call it. You'll see the quarterback call the number, and then you'll see the players looking for that coinciding play. But I have to tell you, Mark and Tim, they don't trust me in Orlando. They gave me a fake wristband here, so I'm no threat of leaking information to the Ohio Glory.
You know what they say, when in doubt, look about. Better cheat than repeat.
Some people use that philosophy to graduate.
Cooperate and graduate. See you on the field at 3.
And there's a look at the wristband of the quarterback, Scott Mitchell. You notice they're laminated, so if it rains, they won't get wet. Clack the back. He's out to the 48-yard line. Chad Rowland with the tackle.
All right, Mark, Galen Holt told us yesterday that he wanted to get some consistency. He wants to run the football for 100 yards, which he thinks will then open up the passing game. So we're seeing that already. He also wants to limit turnovers. He feels you can hold on to the football, you can run the football, then the pass will come and you'll win.
Tommy Stowers now is the lone setback. The Thunder showing 4 wide receivers. This offense has changed dramatically since last year. Much more conservative. Mitchell completes it to Joe Howard Johnson out to the 43-yard line. Jason Wallace runs him out of bounds.
That's 2. We'll just start counting them. You know, talking with him yesterday, he gave us an interesting summary of what he's doing. He asked to come down here because he wants to make a name for himself. But Hojo also feels that the pressure's on because without the bump rule and with his talent, they will expect you to make 10 catches a game. And if he doesn't, they say it could really work against him.
Might not benefit him when he heads back to the NFL. Clack now. Down to the 40-yard line. Chad Rowland with the tackle.
Keep in mind, Joe Howard Johnson's the guy that used to go against Darryl Green every day in practice. There aren't any Darryl Greens here. As much as we want to say the talent has improved, and it has, you don't have that caliber of player.
I think he's going to get a lot better by going against guys like Darryl Green in practice.
He'll get more reps here, though.
2nd and 7. 3 receivers in for Orlando. Joe Howard Johnson in motion. Flanker screen to Grantis Bell. Eludes one tackler. Makes it down to the 36-yard line where Darren Willis tackles him. Willis had a good game in the tiebreaker contest in their 17-7 win over, 33-7 loss to San Antonio. Had a couple of interceptions. Willis, 6 feet, 182 pounds, out of Arizona State. 3rd down and 4. Mitchell rolls out. There's that quick out, complete. Barrel flat. All the way to the 23-yard line. Darren Willis again on the stop. A gain of 14 yards on the play.
Well-designed play. Again, they're taking advantage of the cornerbacks. Now, Stacy Simmons, I want you to watch 85 Stacy Simmons, because he goes deep, clears out, and all of a sudden, Clack comes underneath. See, now, you saw the flash of green up top. That was Simmons who had taken the DBs and linebackers farther out, and then Clack just came underneath.
Roger Vick now in the ballgame for the first time this afternoon. He carries down to the 19-yard line, where Kent Wells makes the tackle. Roger Vick, a familiar name, drafted by the New York Jets, a first-round draft choice. Vick out of Texas A&M, 5th leading rusher in their history.
No question about it. Gained over 1,000 yards with the Jets over 2 years.
We have field movement on the field defense, coupled with a quick snap by the offense. The play is negated. We'll replay first down.
Here's another familiar face, Tom White from the National Football League, our referee today. Well, that guy right there replaced some years with the Dolphins. One of the all-time greats, Larry Little.
A 14-year pro, 12 with the Dolphins. A member of that 1972 team, Tim, that some feel was the best in football history. 17-0.
He was a Hall of Fame finalist 3 times. Had a Hall of Famer sitting next to me on the plane coming down, Don Maynard.
You trying to lobby him to get yourself in?
All right, you hear the warning now over to Galen Hall.
Okay, but all I'm saying is they're slow getting on off. That's your call, right? Let me say this to you.
Okay, see, they're talking about the hurry-up offense.
Substitution or simulator on your side. Quick snap. And then with 12. And that's a read separated.
Yeah. Hey,
You have to give the defense legitimate time to get off the field.
what's the number? 19. 19. Done.
Scott Mitchell, 4 of 6, number 19 to play. You heard it. And that was the walkie-talkie that they use here in the World League. From the coach to the quarterback's helmet. Roger Vick in the backfield.
Roll! Right here! Hot!
Ohio blitzing on the play. The pass is complete to Dennis Airy. He's down to the 19-yard line.
Scott Mitchell showing his experience with the Miami Dolphins there and out of college. You saw him. He yelled right here, and pointed to where the blitz was coming. He knew he had to get off quickly now. The blitz comes, 3-step drop, bang, get it over the middle, and there's Airy. So he saw the blitz, picked it up, yelled right here, told him where it was coming, and released it quickly.
Mitchell at 6'6" stands so tall in the pocket. And a look at the current drive that started on the 10-yard line. A handoff to Vick. He bucks one up the middle. Down to the 14. John O'Tunney making the tackle.
How about this drive? Everything's hurry up. They come out, they spread the field, create some air. They run a little bit. They throw underneath the coverage. Very methodical.
Eating up a lot of clock. 3:50 remaining in the first quarter. 0 still on the scoreboard. 3rd down, 1 to go.
We still haven't had a turnover.
Vick. And he'll be close to the first down. Honey again making the tackle on Vick. Roger Vick, the 6th pick of the 15th round from Thunder.
Yeah, but I think the most significant factor is he was a first-round pick in the NFL with the New York Jets, as you mentioned. That shows you the talent that he possessed when he was at Texas A&M.
Spoke with him earlier during practice a couple of days ago. Sounded very enthused about playing. Sounded like he had something to prove.
All the players are. That's the optimism we were talking about.
Stowers now the lone back. Joe Howard and Johnson in motion. Mitchell, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Stacy Simmons. A catchable ball. Simmons on loan from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That just can't happen now. He's got to make that catch. What he did is let the ball get too close to him and hit his chest plate. Just bounced right off. But remember now, they did not have the 4 exhibition games or any mini camps like the NFL did. They just came together a month ago. This ball comes in too quickly on him. Just hits his chest plate and bounces out.
19, John. John at 59.
Darryl Flack comes in now.
John at 59. Hot.
2nd and 10.
into the end zone, incomplete, intended for Joe Howard Johnson. Tim James there to break it up. Tim James, 6'2", 206 pounds, out of the University of Colorado.
Pass just got away from a little bit. There is a player down. Now, this is where you're going to see the limited roster and how it comes into effect.
That's Mike Adams down on the field.
16 defensive players. So if a guy gets hurt, you either have to get him healthy in a hurry, get him back in the ball game, because you don't have many substitutes.
Still 0-0.
No score, but the Thunder about to. They've had 10 runs, 9 passes, and now inside the 15.
Third down and 10. 4 wideouts in the game. Mitchell all day to throw it. Complete down to the 6-yard line. Who else? Joe Howard Johnson. But Mitchell with all day to throw. Good protection from the offensive line.
Good protection, I think, is the key, and that has been the key throughout this drive. If you look across here, this is the protection. And watch that pocket hold because there is no pressure. As a matter of fact, the Ohio Glory, stop it right there. Still, the pressure is only one guy right here. So Mitchell takes it outside. He's got all day to throw. And when that happens, you're going to get a completion somewhere. There's no way you can cover a guy for that long. He had the ball 6 seconds.
Tracy Bennett now on 4th and 3 will attempt the field goal for Orlando from 22 yards out. And it's blocked. The Glory blocked the field goal attempt.
They blew it dead. They blew it dead. The whistle blew. Bring it back. It was a quick whistle, but they blew it dead.
It appered to be, Tim, a low kick. And a bad snap.
Well, it was boot. It was the snap that, watch. He was approaching the ball when he saw the holder drop it.
TV.
And then he had to stop. His timing was off. His rhythm was off. Consequently, the kick was low. Watch this now. Here he comes. The step, the drop. He stops out of rhythm. He has no shot. Now the pressure comes. The kick's low, and it's blocked.
Imagine being in the Rose Bowl for Super Bowl 27, or in Montreal for World Bowl 1992, the World League Championship, or in London to see the Washington Redskins versus the 49ers in the American Bowl, or relaxing in Hawaii with the NFL's greatest players in the Pro Bowl. Now imagine being there for all of pro football's biggest events. You can win this grand prize in Pro Football's World Tour Sweepstakes. Stay tuned to this game for more details. The World League, expanding the future of pro football.
NFL players are banging heads in the World League. Too legit to miss.
The excitement of the World League continues next week on ABC Sports.
We're back. And Mamir Rasul with a carry out over the 23-yard line. But, Tim, during that last time out, Larry Little was hot.
Competitive fire is starting to burn in Larry Little. There was an inadvertent whistle during the blocked field goal attempt. They blew the whistle. The play was dead. Otherwise, it would have been a touchdown for his ball club. Here it is again. The bad snap, the mishold, the block. Now listen. See, the ball never hit the ground. The whistle's blowing. The ball never hit the ground. This would have been 6 points for Ohio. So he's hot. He should be hot.
The Glory with the ball, 2nd and 1. The backs are split behind Laufenberg. The pass intended for Walter Wilson was a little high and incomplete. 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It's 0-0 Orlando against Ohio.
Laufenberg now 1 for 3, 4 yards. One thing about the no contact rule in the corners is they close quickly.
Just heard the call come in. Eye right, 32 right. 3rd down and 1. The handoff goes to Rasul. He's up close to the 25-yard line.
He's got the first down, too.
64, babe. Red, right, that was 64. Their first conversion in 3 attempts on 3rd down.
All right, keep in mind now, this is a team that had 6 turnovers last week. So they now end the first quarter with no turnovers. They had a chance to score. They're moving the football. They're playing pretty well.
That's the end of the first quarter. We'll return with more World League action after word from our ABC station.
Up the ball's right there, but again, there's good coverage. Malcolm Frank, the ex-Seahawk, all Southwest Conference out of Baylor.
2nd and 10, ball on the 25. The Glory with 4 wide receivers.
Rothenberg fires incomplete, intended for number 85, Walter Wilson. And a flag down on the play. This one will be against Ohio.
See, this is what Larry Little wanted to eliminate. Last week they had the 6 turnovers. They made critical errors, and consequently they lost the ball game to San Antonio. He says if you alleviate some of those mistakes,
They declined it. Illegal use of the hands to the head. Number 76 offense. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
now the penalties on Mike Graybill, illegal use of the hands. Now, you talk about an inexperienced guy. Here was a high school basketball player at DeMatha High School, Maryland. Goes to Boston University, plays basketball there. Junior year, coach sees him in the weight room, says, hey, play some football. Now, here he is playing in the World League. This is the type of guy with the talent that has the ability to one day get into the NFL.
Yeah, Plan B free agent in 91 with the Detroit Lions. It's 3rd down and 10. Rothenberg the pass. And it's incomplete. Nobody in the neighborhood for that pass. Dan Cilio and Carl Dunbar applying the pressure.
Watch the middle, 71. Cilio occupies people. Then 78 comes Carl Dunbar. He's the guy that's really, they call him a lightning bolt. He even has that tattooed on his calf, on his leg, a lightning bolt. He's a wrecker. He comes through and he makes the big stack, makes the big play, the pressure, and they have no chance to get that play off.
Tom Ruin with his 3rd punt of the afternoon. Ruin with another nice kick. This is Howard Johnson back on his own 28. Gets close to the 40s at the 39 before Aaron Ruffin hauls him down. A 47-yard punt, 11 yards on the return by Joe Howard Johnson. He'll be a busy man this afternoon. It's still 0-0. Larry Little's pro coaching debut. Stay with us. Starts to come down in Orlando. Look at the first quarter statistics. Orlando with the edge in yardage, but nothing to show for it, Tim.
No, as a matter of fact, Mitchell, 6 for 10, 44 yards has been the outstanding performance thus far. That's for Orlando. And Howard Johnson with 3 catches.
1st down and 10. The ball at the 39-yard line for the Thunder. Roger Vick in the backfield. Underneath, it's Grantis Bell. And Bell gets popped by Mike Adams. Boy, did he rock his world. Grantis Bell out of West Virginia, a fine complement of receivers here for the Thunder.
Bell caught a 15-yard touchdown pass last week from Mitchell. Spent time with the Jets and the Redskins.
57. Rule. 19. Hot.
Roger Vick.
On
And he's tackled at the 45-yard line by Aaron Ruffin.
Jackson strung it out. Ruffin came up quickly from the nickel spot. When you hear that 18, all that means is that's the number that they're supposed to go to on their wrist. They'll look, and then they'll come up with the play.
Johnny 59.
4 wide receivers in for the Thunder. Mitchell is sacked back at the 37-yard line. There's a fumble, but it's ruled dead first. Mike Sunvold coming up with a sack. Sunvold, 6'4", 270 pounds from the University of Minnesota. Very versatile player. They play him at either the end or the tackle spot.
Sunvold had 3 tackles, forced a fumble last week against San Antonio. It came from the backside. Mitchell never saw him.
Ray Criswell into punt. Sets up on his own 23. Melvin Patterson back deep for Ohio. Heavy pressure and a flag toss for roughing the kicker. Ball bounces down to the 24-yard line with a flag back on the play. There's another game going on way across the pond. It's the Knights against the Monarchs. And it's the Knights scoring a touchdown here. Reggie Slack looking into the end zone. Complete to Kip Lewis. And it's 7-3. The Knights leading the Monarchs. And that has really developed him into one of the more bitter rivalries in this league.
Reggie Slack with a strong arm, but there's a penalty here, and this is going to be costly against Ohio. I believe they're going to call roughing the kicker. And now look at the reaction from Larry Little. That's a questionable call. I don't know if you saw it, but there was very little contact.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Number 56 defense. First down.
All right, they call it on Stacey Harvey. Watch number 56. See how much contact is made with Criswell. Very little, if any at all. And yet here comes the flag, the penalty. It's costly. Orlando up near midfield now in Ohio territory. Another bad break for Ohio. Shaky call at best.
That's two now that have gone in favor of Orlando. Play action now. Mitchell going up top. And the pass is ruled incomplete. His arm was in the forward motion.
And you think Stacey Harvey wasn't hot because they called that on him? Here he comes after he's flagged one time, and he comes backside and makes the big play. Watch 56. Here he comes. He was just called for roughing the kicker. Just runs right by his man. Michael Titley, the tight end.
Harvey,
Hello, Mr. Mitchell.
Harvey played 9 games in Kansas City in 1989, a 4-year letterman at Arizona State. Mitchell out of the shotgun again. Goes up top for Grantis Bell. Incomplete. Down at the 7-yard line, just out of his reach. Mike Adams, stride for stride with Bell.
That pass was almost perfect. I think Bell's got to lay out and make this catch here. If he dives, he's got it. Watch how it's just off his fingertips. He just didn't want to break stride, but watch this. Lay out. If he lays out right there and dives for the football, he makes the catch.
And with that, it's 3rd and 10. Mitchell 7 of 13, 51 yards. Looking to pass again. In and out of the arms of Willie Davis. Davis drops the ball, and he would have had the first down had he caught it.
I'll tell you something else, too. I was watching Joe Howard Johnson. He was on the other side. Split the seam, was wide open. He's coming off the field now, shaking his head. He had a touchdown.
Tom Ruin into punt again. Pardon me, that's Ray Criswell. Just under 11 minutes remaining in the first half.
Criswell ought to get an Academy Award for that last punt.
Patterson, back at the 12-yard line, calls for the fair catch. We'll return with more World League action after this message about an upcoming show on ABC and a word from our ABC stations. Still 0-0. Babe Laufenberg now. Still in at quarterback. Is 1 of 6 for 4 yards. Might want to mention that his backup is Pat O'Hara.
And I'm sure we're going to see O'Hara unless Laufenberg starts getting his team moving. As a matter of fact, O'Hara was warming up during that last timeout. Continues to throw on the sideline even as we speak. And if Babe can get him going this time, I guarantee you we'll see Pat O'Hara out of Southern Cal. He's an NFL allocation guy from Tampa Bay.
Been all of 91 on their practice roster. Coaching staff very high on him. 1st and 10, the ball on the Ohio 12. The handoff is to Amir Rasul. Rasul out to the 24.
Red eye left, 37 power.
They went to the conventional offensive scheme with a tight end, just 2 wideouts, tried to get him on the corner, and they did. Rasul takes it out there. You know, Laufenberg's a funny guy. Says the only difference between this and the NFL, his paycheck now has a decimal point where the comma used to be. He also said when the Ohio Glory called him, they said they'd already gotten Lachey to come in. He thought it was Jim Lachey. It's Lachey's brother, the equipment manager.
His wife wasn't all that happy either. The handoff now, and a big space, big gap for Rasul.
Taking a handoff to the left side.
And it's marked at the 34. That'll be a first down for Ohio. Amir Rasul, graduate of Florida A&M, a guy that had a lot of good days against Larry Little at Bethune-Cookman, Tim.
Outstanding block by Graybill here to free him. He splashed down on the left tackle, and then he got a block on the outside, too, by his wide receiver, and all of a sudden, he's got the first. They moved the chains, and it's an offensive series now that's got to be making Coach Little a little bit happier.
A gain of 15 yards, and it's a first down. Play action. Offenberg fires high to the tight end, Randy Bethel.
Settle down. They're telling him to settle down.
He's 1 of 7 now. Babe Offenberg just completed some work on the Winter Olympics over in Albertville, working for a Dallas radio station. Looking to get into this business sometime.
He's got the gift of gab. Even in Washington, he was doing a lot of work there with Fox Network.
2nd down and 10. Carr and Rasul, the back. Tosses to Rasul. And he's got some space. Amir Rasul with a nice run down to the 40-yard line before Chris Mitchell runs him out of bounds. 26 yards on that pickup.
Again, Graybill gets the block. Lydell Carr gets the block. They shield off. Watch this now. Hold this right here. Here's Gray. Stop that. Here's Graybill. Look at this block right here, the contact. Now the back will come off, and he'll steal right up in here, and then the runner takes it outside, and he's got the alley. This is a nice job by Graybill first. Then here comes Carr, 28. He seals off. You see him there with the block. The alley's up the sideline, and bingo.
Lydell Carr, a very good blocking back. Graybill, 6'8", 288 pounds. Rasul. Keep him busy down to the 35-yard line. Well, tonight, don't miss the special Sweet 16 party on Life Goes On. Then after America's Funniest Hour gets you ready, Steve Martin and Michael Caine move in for the Comedy Kill. They'll take your money and leave you laughing in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. The Sunday night movie premiere tonight on ABC. Babe Offenberg leading his team downfield, 2nd and 4. Maurice Crum making the stop on Rasul that time. Maybe about 2 yards short of the first down.
You know what we're seeing here, Martin? We're seeing the coming together of this Ohio football team. The offensive line is starting to understand and get the feel for each other, and they're now just starting to blast out. Yeah, control the line of scrimmage.
And speaking of Larry Little yesterday, he wasn't too concerned about that 33-7 loss.
Field goal here.
And they had to San Antonio in their tiebreaker game.
Hear what he said? They've got to win. They've got at least a field goal here if they don't get the first.
Back to split behind Offenberg. Not much doing on that carry. That was Lydell Carr. Carl Dunbar making a nice tackle. You know, Dunbar's an interesting story, Tim. They call him the battering ram. He worked as a drug agent in his native Louisiana, and they actually used him to break down doors when they made the crime bust.
He's the best at it. Okay, now you're going to see what he was talking about, Larry Little on the sideline.
Come on, Julio.
You've got the wind behind him, so he's going to bring in his kicker. And Currick comes on. Here's a guy cut by the Lions, and this is going to be a 50-yarder.
Jerry Corrick, veteran of the CFL and NFL. And it's good. Jerry Corrick nails it from 49 yards out. As the glory strikes first in this football game.
That's a good bit of coaching right there. It was 4th down and 2. You had the running game going, but Larry Little being very observant, knows the wind is behind him. He knows he's got a strong leg in Currick. He just blasts it and they're on the board.
The son of a woodshop maker, Jerry Corrick, with field goal. We're back, and it's 3-0 for Ohio. Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, Julie Moran looks at just who is playing in the World League. They certainly run the gamut. She had a chance to speak with some of the wide range of World League personalities. They are a special group.
I'm looking forward to it. It's just showtime. It's so different. Any experience is good experience. I think it's really fun.
It is fun. I'll tell you something else. It's vastly improved. You realize that we've had no turnovers here. Both teams have executed quite well offensively. The defense has been aggressive. This has been a pretty good ball game so far.
Yeah, in comparison to last year at the same time, leaps and bounds better. Jerry Cora kicks it off. Back deep, Joe Howard Johnson watches it bounce out of bounds at the 10. Would think that the Thunder would have them kick it off again and move it back a few yards. Jerry Corrick with that field goal from 49 yards out. He's from Windsor, Ontario. Played with the Edmonton Eskimos of the Canadian Football League, as well as the Cleveland Browns last year. Kicked the winning field goal in the 1987 Grey Cup game against the Toronto Argonauts. Says that's the highlight of his career so far.
Hey, just pause the plays. Let's relax. Let's go. 27, all right? Here we go.
Comfort of the veteran, Scott Mitchell, quarterback, and tell him just relax. Let's just do our thing, get in a rhythm.
Rule!
Showing a couple tight ends now. Roger Vick on the run. Vick out to the 37-yard line. Charles Jackson making the tackle. And in our game in London, the Knights leading the Monarchs 10-3 in the second quarter. Reggie Slack doing a job at quarterback center.
Ralph Davis with the run and shoot attack.
Gun.
Of course, last night Frankfurt shut out Barcelona. The Surge beat the Fire.
Second down and 8. 4 receivers now in. Mitchell. Incomplete, intended for Willie Davis again, and that's the second ball this afternoon that he has dropped. It has landed right in his hands.
Number 8.
We need to get that wristband from Julie, find out what 8 is.
Third down and 8.
Down to 90! Hot!
Mitchell steps up. Over the middle. And no flag on the play. No flag. And a late one comes now.
Now it comes. There was no question he got there early. It was pass interference right from the get-go.
Darren Willis moved in, appeared to get there early on Willie Davis, and the flag came to him a good 2 seconds afterwards.
But it's a good call nonetheless.
That's his call.
Now, Darren Willis had 2 interceptions last week. He is very aggressive. Here he's reading the ball, tries to get the pick, but he comes too early. Now watch this. Plenty of time again for Mitchell. Drifts out of the pocket. Contact before the ball ever got there.
And Larry Little is hot. He just took his jacket off.
How can you make that call? How can you make that call?
I'll tell you this, Larry. You got robbed twice before, but that's a good call.
Interference. Number 26, defense, 15 yards, first down.
We have Larry Mike, but I don't think he needs one.
That call so late.
It was late. You're right.
That's a lie. You should have a terrible call. We got to win the terrible.
See, that is the World League. But, Larry, you got robbed on 2 other calls, but that was a good call. The only bad thing there that's got you fired up, it was late.
Roger Vick with the carry.
I'd like to see the fire. I'll tell you what, he's ready to go.
I think the official could feel the hair on the back of his neck curl up.
He may suit up now.
16.
He's a horse and a half.
Terrible call. Rule.
Second down and 8. Joe Howard Johnson in motion to the top of your screen. Quick slant, complete to Grantis Bell, and he picks up a couple of blocks. Grantis Bell will score. Yards of thunder from Grantis Bell on that pass reception.
Here's Bell way outside. Stop it right there. Here comes the motion guy as Howard came all the way across the field and then came in here. That's where he starts to seal off. Now the line comes. Stop it again. Look at the line. Stop. Hold right there. All right. The line will now just give him an alley to the outside. He'll take it around there, and there's no way they can get out there. Well-designed play.
Tracy Bennett hammers home the extra point. And Orlando takes a 7-3 lead. Jerry Kraft was the guy you were talking about with that nice block.
Just a seal-off play. It all started with Joe Howard. Brought the motion all the way across the field. Made the first block. The line sealed off. Bell scored.
Hey, we're playing a little Thunderball. It's 7-3 for Orlando. Tracy Bennett going to kick it off now. Amir Rasul and Adam Walker back deep for Ohio.
Kicking off for the Thunder.
Touchdown drive began to the 35. And that kickoff went out of bounds. This is Walker. Walker with a nice run back out to the 32-yard line.
Across the 30-yard line, tackle made by Mike Miller.
Mark, let's go back to the touchdown. We'll show you one more time how they did it. It's a seal-off play. Here's the motion man, Joe Howard. He'll bring it out, and he'll seal it here. Then you can count the linemen. They'll come off and cut off all the backside pursuit, and Bell will bring it right there. You can almost count the blocks. First, there's Joe Howard. All right, now they throw underneath. Here comes Grannis Bell, 84. Makes the completion. Now count the linemen. Here comes Cunningham. Bang. Count the green jersey. Aronson. Lesto. Rose. Kraft. They all get blocked. Bell takes it in. Touchdown.
Babe Laufenberg still in at quarterback. He's one of 7. This is Rasul. Rasul out close to a first down, and he'll have it. The ball is spotted at the 42-yard line.
We heard during a commercial timeout Larry Little talking about giving Babe one more series and then make a switch if he doesn't move him. Well, he moved him, got a field goal out of it. Be senseless now to switch quarterbacks, especially a guy that has the rhythm. He hadn't turned the ball over, and they're finding some type of offense now.
At O'Hara patiently stalking the sidelines. Laufenberg, 10 of 19, 87 yards, 3 interceptions against San Antonio in their exhibition game. First down and 10. Rasul again. Still out over the 45-yard line before he stopped up by Dean Witkowski. Well, coming up later today on ABC Sports, it's one of the biggest events in tennis, the $1.7 million Lipton International Players Championships. 4 Eastern, 3 Central, and Pacific on ABC Sports. It'll be Chang against Mancini.
Amir Rasul now with 10 carries, 88 yards, so the running game is really starting to come along now for Ohio, 92 total yards. But on this situation, it's a passing down.
Ohio with that huge offensive line. Rasul keeps his balance nicely and has a first down. He's out over the close to the 45. Robert Pressbury with a tackle.
How about that call? 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8. I said this is a passing down. The defense is thinking the same thing, and so they run the ball and they make it.
Amir Rasul getting a breather now.
Look at this. This is Mike Ditka type football right here. Look at the grass. His uniform's dirty. We're playing on a natural turf. He's starting to get the feel of the game. Amir Rasul now out of Florida A&M. This is big time for him.
You sound like you want to hit somebody, too.
Oh, he's got 98 yards. I like this.
First down and 10. Handoff is to Walker. Walker with a nice bit of running. Out to the 36, Witkowski with another tackle.
All right, so you give Amir Rasul a break. You bring in Adam Walker. He's 6'1", 208 pounds. He's a hammer guy. He was acquired from the Surge, but he was with the 49ers. He was cut by them only because he had an ankle injury, then re-signed and stayed on their developmental squad. So you see an injured player down, and that's Chris Mitchell.
7-3 with 1:54 remaining as the rain keeps coming down in Orlando. What about that offensive line? It could be a function of that.
Well, it is. It's big. It's strong. They're just now starting to feel for each other and understand what the other guy's doing. You've got Graybill's 288, Moles 291, Vines is about 290, Harmon's 293, and then they got old Big Ben Jefferson out of Maryland. He's 6'9", 338.
Those Maryland guys, big on size, huh? Get yours?
You got the Babe at quarterback. You know what his first name is, don't you?
Tell me.
You got me. You got me, Babe.
The backs line up in the eye on 2nd and 1. The toss is to Rasul. It's an option play. Look downfield. Throws it up for grabs. And it's picked off. Mike Nettles with the interception. And he takes it out to the 23-yard line. That ball was in the air forever. He could have called for the fair catch.
Well, see, that's the risk you run with a halfback option pass because he's not that schooled in throwing the football. Now, Rasul's fine, but he shows that it's a pass right away. The defense reads it. They're in a dime coverage. They've got 6 defensive backs up there and throws it so high. Here comes Nettles now. Nettles is not a starter, but he is the dime back. Played here last year out of Memphis State. He just makes the catch, comes up, and that's a critical turnover with 1:42 to go in the half.
Tim, what about that call when you just started establishing a very good ground game to put it up for grabs like that?
I don't second question the call. I mean, this is the World League. Little trick play. It had a chance. Just ill-advised pass by
Darryl Clack.
This is Darryl Clack out to the 24-yard line. Jason Wallace making the tackle.
Matter of fact, it's probably a good call because you have established that running game. You have it looking like it's a run, and then he pulls up and throws deep. It was just a poorly thrown ball.
I mean, just don't throw it up there like that for grabs.
Understand. That's not a bad call at that time. Second and 1, and you get him.
Maybe it wasn't a bad call. Mitchell now completes it to Clack over the middle.
Oh, and that's exactly what they're saying on the sidelines. Babe says that's not a bad call, and it's not. It's a good call. But then Larry has a point, too. You don't throw that thing up for grabs when you're getting a scoring position.
1:06 remaining, and Orlando calls a timeout. Going to try and maybe get a field goal out of this drive. We'll be back in just a second. World League hits hard with regional action. Birmingham against San Antonio or Sacramento against the Ohio Glory. Live 1 Eastern, noon Central, and Pacific next week on ABC Sports. 3rd and 3 for Orlando. Pass complete out to the 40-yard line to Grantis Bell. Tackle made by Mike Adams.
36.
Remember now, they have 50 plays on their wrist. He's looking down now to see 36. They called it in on the microphone. He sees 36, makes the call, goes to the wrist. There's the play.
59 seconds remaining in the first half. The backs moving up close to the line for Ohio. And Joe Howard Johnson is wide open over the middle. Joe Howard Johnson down to the 33-yard line with 47 seconds remaining. A 26-yard pickup. Boy, is he slippery.
The field's getting slippery, too. Continues to rain here in Orlando.
Roll!
Clock is moving. Mitchell to pass again. Looking for Bell. And a nice play that time by Mike Adams to break up the pass. Look back at just the right time.
Let's go!
There's a flag down on the play.
It's going to be against Ohio, too. They'll move it down. It's defensive holding. Mike Adams, great defense here in the hip pocket of Grantis Bell. Almost had the interception.
First down.
Reminder, in this league now, there is no bumping, no contacting. So they mark off the defensive holding.
On that last play, Tim, one of the few times today we've seen the DBs move up close to the line of scrimmage. 36 seconds remain in the first half. Mitchell steps up. The pass is complete to the 24 to Joe Howard Johnson again.
That's a great catch, too. Timeout now by Orlando, but this catch is fantastic. Mitchell steps up. He almost decides to run. At the last second, he sees Joe Howard coming across the middle and just kind of basketball pass. Watch Howard now. Here comes Howard. He'll come in here, bang, just like that. Now, here goes Mitchell. Stop it right there. He's trying to decide whether to run or pass. Go ahead. Let it roll. Shuffles it out. It's way behind Joe Howard. He makes the catch and just wrestles it away. He was locked up there on the linebacker, and a good catch by Joe Howard. Look at this. Actually, it wasn't the linebacker. It was Wallace that was on him. Jason Wallace, good cover, guys. So that makes the catch even that much more impressive.
Mitchell on the sidelines now talking with head coach Galen Hall. 13 of 21, 144 yards. Not too bad.
No, and this is great for him, too. He got very little repetitions behind Dan Marino with the Dolphins. So he comes in here, he gets playing time, and he is a player. Danny won't be able to go on forever, although he won't want me to say that.
70,
I wouldn't bet against it.
2 points. Blue 70, blue 70.
2nd and 5. Ball on Ohio's 25-yard line.
Timeout by the Glory. Mitch is going to say that ball was snapped, but it wasn't.
You know what we want? Yeah, I know what we want. You guys
That's Dennis Thurman on the sidelines. He's the defensive coordinator, former great with the Dallas Cowboys.
Come on, let's be keep your heads in there now.
You can't get what I tell you if the tight end comes in the game. You're in the game, okay? They were going trips away from the back. Away from the tight end, okay? They were going to roll this way. They may turn it over, okay? The wide receiver that's moving, play him man, and you can still play combo.
Double the outside guy.
Huh? No, double, yeah, we're playing combo on the two people that are stay on the steal, okay? The safety that's on the tight end side, okay? Get outside and then establish. Okay, but you're doing it from deep. Follow me? Let's go.
Come on, man. Let's go now. Let's go.
There's Tracy Bennett, the field goal kicker, hit a 25-yarder last week against Barcelona. He's got a good leg. What Thurman was telling his guys, if they were in a tiger formation, tight end, trips to the other side, they were going to roll that way. So they wanted to go to a man or a zone combination. Man one side, zone the other.
Joe Howard Johnson is in the slot off to the left of Mitchell.
There they go, the roll that side.
That's Francis Bell. Gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 23 seconds remaining. He's out close to the first down.
Almost impossible to stop that play when there's no contact or no bumping allowed. Wide receivers go down, they clear out the area, and the man comes underneath like Bell did.
Orlando and Ohio both with one timeout remaining in the half.
Regular means two wide receivers and two backs. So the other back comes in now.
Francis Bell out to the bottom of your screen. Tommy Stowers, the lone back. Mitchell looks to Howard Johnson, and the pass is incomplete. Mike Adams right there.
You see how far off the defensive backs have to play off the line. Look at this. You're giving a guy 5 yards right here before the play even starts. Now you clear it out, stop it right there. You bring him underneath. This guy now has to come up. They're playing in and out. See, this guy gives up, and the outside guy now has to come up and take the underneath man.
Bennett now with a field goal from 37 yards out. His first one from 22 was blocked. And this one is good. Tracy Bennett tacks on 3 more points for Orlando to make them score 10-3. A better snap this time, Tim.
Better snap, good hold, rhythm and timing's there, good protection up front. And again, I tell you, Bennett's got a strong leg. He hit that 25-yarder last week. This one has plenty of room, and it's 10-3.
Yeah, Michael Tigley, the tight end, is their deep snapper. Had some trouble on that first one, but that time back, it was really clean.
When you bring guys together this quickly, you don't have the mini camps, you don't have the long preseason. You don't have as much time to spend on special teams to work on the extra points, work on the field goals, work on the sure hand teams and the kickoffs. And so if there's any phase of the game that will suffer, it'll be the special teams.
We talked earlier about playing some thunder ball. Right now, Mother Nature playing a little thunderstorm. The rain really coming down here.
It's the World League.
Talked about those NFL players and the enhancement allocation draft. For every player an NFL team sends to the World League, they get a roster exemption for the preseason. Bennett kicks it off. Rolls down to the 21-yard line where Adam Walker hauls it in. Walker out to the 31. 8 seconds remaining.
The 10-3 ball game. If you're Ohio, you're still within a touchdown here. No time to panic. Everything's solid. You just want to get in without turning the ball over.
Looking at some of the key points, that third down pass interference call against Ohio that led to the touchdown by Orlando.
See, now I would just take a clock play here. Just have the quarterback kneel down, let time expire, and go into the locker room. Looks like they're going to go for a play. No, it's going to be a clock play. They'll just down it.
A flag down on the play.
Unbelievable. Larry Little shaking his head.
He hasn't had the greatest of first half. Not a happy man.
Hadn't been that bad. They played quite well. They got 2 bad calls and a breakdown on the pass coverage for the 1 touchdown.
That's what I was referring to, the calls by the officials.
Illegal formation, number 76, lined up on the end of the line of scrimmage. The penalty is declined. Second down.
Wasn't sure you could have an illegal formation in the World League, Tim.
Well, Mike Grayville's got to be on the line of scrimmage. He was cheating back too far, just trying to protect the quarterback, and they called him.
Watch him, watch him.
Okay, let's see what we get this time. They forsake Big Ben left to right. And they'll try and sit on the ball.
That'll end the half. Good, smart football.
Well, it's 10-3, and our Julie Moran is standing by with the head coach of Ohio, Larry Little.
Coach, you had 2 questionable calls in the first half. How did that affect you?
They really hurt our football team, but hopefully we'll overcome that and come back and play like we can in the second half. I thought the guys did a real fine job in the first half, and I think we'll do better in the second half. Hopefully this weather will slow down for us.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, it's 10-3. Larry Little, 1 half through his pro coaching debut. We'll return with halftime activities after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
This World League Halftime Report, brought to you by Prudential. In a changing world, one thing remains rock solid, the Prudential.
Well, it's a wet one here in Orlando, Florida. It's 10-3, Orlando over Ohio here at halftime. Right now, let's go downstairs to Julie Moran, who's staying dry like Tim and I. Julie?
Thanks, Mark. Well, the coaches and players in the World League are a diverse mix of talent, and each, of course, is involved for a wide variety of reasons. But number one across the board being the pure joy of just playing football. Sean Moore led Virginia to new heights. Then he signed with the Denver Broncos and never played. Now he's with the Birmingham Fire.
It's been such a long time since I've been on the football field, and just taking a hit, I'm looking forward to it.
Operation Discovery, which places 3 non-Americans on the 4 non-U.S. teams, gave Guillermo Gomez a chance to play in his home country.
The quickness of the game, the toughness, it's just showtime for me, football. I'm not a good player yet. I'm working on it.
Barcelona Dragon fans are perhaps the most enthusiastic. Coach Jack Bicknell loves the fervor.
I think they really enjoy everything about American football, the cheerleaders, the band, the halftime shows, and then the game, and maybe in that order in the beginning, but I think the game's becoming more and more important.
After 10 years as the head coach of Boston College, Bicknell is enjoying this new challenge.
So different that it's unbelievable amount of fun.
He was MVP of last year's World Bowl, leading London to the league championship. After years as a backup, Stan Gelbaugh has become a revelation.
Any experience is good experience, and the World League, what that does for me is it gives me a lot of playing time that I might not get in the NFL.
If all goes as planned, next season Gelbaugh will be back in the NFL.
I'm an example of what can happen if you're in the right place at the right time.
Don't call it a comeback.
My NFL career was exciting, it was successful and complete. But at 32 years old, I'm at that place in my life where you start looking at things that you can't ever do again.
So after 3 years off the field and before it was too late, Brian Holloway decided to return to something he really loved.
And I tell other NFL players who want to come back and experience football like they've never experienced it before, or how they believe the game to be, they should come back, and if they can afford to, play in the World League. It's really fun.
Oh, yeah. If you ever get a chance, you must see a World League game in either Barcelona, Frankfurt, or London. It's pretty wet. The Atlanta Rhythm section was supposed to play here at halftime, but the concert has been canceled. For those of you who are interested, we'll be back with more. Stick around. It's halftime in Orlando. The score, the Thunder 10, Ohio 3. A pretty good first half of play for both teams. Scott Mitchell moving the ball well for Orlando, Tim Brent. Very impressive performance by him. And on the ground, Ohio moving the ball well, too.
With Rasura, I'm impressed with both teams. I think they came in. They were only here a month. They start going through the process. They come out. They look like they're unified. The running game's been solid. We've had very few turnovers. We did have a blocked punt, a field goal, but for the most part, it's been a clean play. It's been exciting, and I think the level of play has been elevated.
Hey, it's the World League, right? You got to expect anything. A couple of key plays, one of them being the blocked field goal.
Yeah, watch this now. George Coombs picks up the loose ball, flips to Tim James, but there's an inadvertent whistle right here. So rather than a touchdown, James is signaled dead. They bring it back, and the play was an inadvertent whistle. So that got Little all upset. Then they have this play right here. Watch this. They bring him underneath. Grannis Bell. The motion man was Howard. They seal off. Grannis Bell takes it the distance. This is the first touchdown of the year for Orlando. Well designed, well executed, and Grannis Bell takes it in from the 10 after breaking that tackle for the touchdown.
Little duck walk, too. You got to love that, huh?
Yeah, perhaps the one bad play in this half was the interception that was thrown. Now watch this. Amir Rasul gets the pitch back. He all of a sudden stops, throws, and it's an air ball. I mean, this just was poorly thrown. They were in field goal range. Nettles picks it off. They bring it back. That was a badly executed play.
It's going to be interesting to see, Tim, what happens here in the second half. In the first half, Babe Laufenberg was not very proficient at all through the air anyway, and Pat O'Hara still waiting on the sidelines. You got to wonder if we're going to see him at all.
Well, the key was, though, they had the offensive line was firing out. Babe saw that. Babe started to make some calls in that direction, and it became productive for him. They got the field goal and now trails just 10-3.
And maybe by now, Coach Larry Little has cooled off just a little bit. We'll be back with more of the World League from Orlando. It's 10-3 at halftime.
League Halftime Report has been brought to you by Prudential. In a changing world, one thing remains rock solid.
We're set to kick off the second half here. It's 10-3 Orlando. Jerry Corrick will kick it off for Ohio. Joe Howard Johnson and Grannis Bell back deep. This is Bell on his own 5.
Grannis Bell taking a kickoff.
Bell gets a good block. And he's collared out at the 36-yard line by Steve C. Harvey. And a look at the first half stats. In the first 2 quarters of play, rushing yardage, the edge there going to Ohio, Tim.
Well, and the big thing, too, is Amir Rasul, again, 96 yards and 11 carries. He's 0 for 1 with an interception passing, but running the football, he was very, very strong.
We talked about Pat O'Hara, the backup quarterback for Ohio. The backup quarterback for Orlando is Kerwin Bell, and we'll talk about him just a little bit more here in the second half. Daryl Clack is the lone back. 4 wide receivers again for Orlando. Mitchell throws it incomplete rather, to Joe Howard Johnson at the 39.
There's a flag way back at midfield.
Jason Wallace covering defensively.
When they're off, it is.
This one will go against Ohio. Larry Little probably wondering what he has to do to change his luck with the officials.
Defense, 5 yards, still first down.
See, when you have 12 men on the field, you have an advantage, so you can't do that. Now, what happens is one of the guys didn't get off on time. Live television.
And will it happen from time to time? First down and 10. The handoff is to Daryl Clack. Nice gain out to the 48-yard line. Kent Wells making the tackle. 6'5", 310-pound defensive end from Nebraska. Played 6 games with the Giants in 1990. Great strength.
27.
You hear him say, Tiger, Tiger. That's a tight end with 2 backs. And then what they'll do is they'll flex one of those backs down where the tight end usually is. And they do. It's Tommy Sowers.
Check 14.
And a whistle now. Flags down.
Blaine Rose jumped offensively for the Thunder, the right guard, and so they'll move back, penalize the Thunder.
68 offense, moving prior to the snap. 5 yards, still first down.
Blaine Rose, allocation from Miami.
Number 1 is the official cellular company of the Orlando Thunder.
Actually played with Philadelphia as well, out of the University of Maryland.
18.
Blaine, no thorns, Rose.
Gun. Oh, you're loaded with them today. I love you. First down and 15.
Roll. Wide.
It's Orlando's first penalty of the afternoon. Mitchell out of the shotgun. Completes it over the middle down to the 46-yard line. That's Joe Howard Johnson. And Orlando going with the no huddle. Calling out the plays, seeing them look at their wrist. Brandon Bell out to the bottom of your screen.
15.
Play action. Mitchell rolls out. Finds the tight end, Michael Titley. Titley with his first reception of the afternoon. Stacey Harvey making the tackle.
Outstanding fake by Scott Mitchell, the quarterback, to make that play work. Watch as he takes the ball away from the center. Reverse pivot. Great fake, put the ball on his hip. Everybody stopped. He rolls the other side, and he's got the little tight end coming out, and Titley has the big pickup for the first.
Yeah, you'd think that Mitchell would have learned a lot from Marino and his ball handling skills. Black down to the 27-yard line. Charles Jackson in on that tackle. Kerwin Bell is Scott Mitchell's backup. And Bell has been outspoken about not being the starting quarterback.
There's Kerwin playing for his old coach last year. He was the hero of the first two games.
Tommy Stowers in the backfield. Joe Howard Johnson in motion. Mitchell throws underneath, incomplete for Stacy Simmons. Play broken up by Aaron Ruffin. That'll set up 3rd down and 7. Simmons out of the University of Florida.
And this is a huge play for Ohio. Now, Larry Little, I'm sure, wanted to stop them right away coming out to start the second half. Now 3rd and 7. This is the first opportunity he's had. He's got to get some pressure on Mitchell.
Joe Howard Johnson, the inner side receiver down to the bottom of your screen. The second guy in. And Mitchell looks for him.
Good coverage on the corner by Jason Wallace.
Jason Wallace, their best man coverage guy, had an interception last week against San Antonio in their tiebreaker game. He was all ACC in 1990 at the University of Virginia.
That's right. He returned to 34 yards now at Virginia. Remember, they were #1 in the nation for most of that year before losing to Georgia Tech. He is a fine cover guy. He faced Herman Moore every day in practice. That'll improve you.
Sean Moore, a member of this World League, too. The field goal coming from 45 yards out. And he got it. Tracy Bennett from 45 yards out makes it 13-3 for Orlando.
Remember how shaky special teams were in this league last year. If you watched any of the games last night, Doyle had a 50-yarder, Keene had a 37-yarder. We've had a couple long ones here today, too.
Bennett's kick is down to Walker at the 8-yard line. Adam Walker fights out close to the 30. New York and London met twice last year. London winning both games, and right now in London, Stan Gelbaugh drops back to pass, and the Knights get burned on this play. Sean Fawcett in behind the defensive secondary. That's Philanda Newton beaten on the play. A 65-yard touchdown, and the Monarchs go up 13-10. Over 40,000 people on hand at Royal Wembley Stadium. Dave Loxenberg handing off to Amir Rasul. Rasul had a very good first half.
He's over 100 yards now. That'll put him at 101 yards in just 12 carries.
Now 25
So give him a lot of credit, but also give the guys up front, Grable, Mold, Vines, Harmon, and Jefferson, a lot of credit, too.
Yeah, when he was available in the World League draft, Larry Little told me yesterday, hey, I got to get this guy, he was saying, because he had a lot of good games against Florida A&M while Little was at Bethune-Cookman.
That's right. His A&M teams beat Little 3 straight years. I'd go get him, too.
If you can't beat him, draft him. Second down and 5. That's Lydell Carr powering his way out close to the 40-yard line. Rosine Keaton making the tackle.
Be about a yard shy, but again, the offensive line firing out. Watch him across the front, starting with Vines right in the middle. The explosion. Castillo just runs around and tries to guess, so he gets the hand on him, but still, everybody else continues to push. Amir Rasul, doing more than just running, gets a great block. Give him a pancake on that. And the big gain. Just shy of the first.
3rd down and 1 to be exact. Orlando statistically ahead in the first down category. Rasul, he'll have the first down out over the 43-yard line. Good balance on that play. And had he gotten by that first line of defenders, he may have had a lot more yardage, too.
Well, Carl Dunbar came through freely and actually had him and couldn't make the tackle.
Let's listen in to Carl Dunbar out of LSU.
Watch the top of your screen, number 78 come across. He had the chance.
Dunbar, the battering ram up front. 1st down and 10. End off to Rasul. Out to the 46-yard line where Maurice Crum makes the tackle.
You know, you were talking about Carl Dunbar. It's quite a story. You mentioned the law enforcement work he's doing. Also was an outstanding athlete at LSU, but he broke his foot his senior year. I don't know if you remember, but he broke his foot, and that really hurt his chances with the Steelers.
2nd down and 8. Ball just out over the 45-yard line.
That's all you're going to get.
Karn Rasul in the backfield. Walter Wilson to the bottom of your screen. Patterson out to the top. This is Walter Wilson. Incomplete. And Glenn Rogers closed very quickly on that play and stuck him.
Now that'll go down as an incompletion for Babe Laufenberg, but there's nothing more he can do. He read the blitz, got rid of it quickly, put the ball right where he was supposed to be. Glenn Rogers just knocked it loose.
Laufenberg just 1 of 8 now on the afternoon.
Yeah, but that ball was right there. Well thrown, good read.
It sets up 3rd down and 8. Laufenberg to pass, completes it over the middle. And they'll have a 1st down. Melvin Patterson making the grab that time. Patterson 6'3", 192 pounds.
Malcolm Frank makes the tackle. Now, when you take a look at this from behind, I want you to watch number 20, because what happens here, this is a touchdown if he doesn't make this tackle. Here's the gamble. Bang. Here comes Frank, number 20. He's the last line of defense. They play that too deep. He was the last guy there. Otherwise, it's a touchdown.
I want to mention that this Orlando team has improved immensely as compared to last year.
Both teams have. And Ohio's brand new.
And Raleigh Durham, of course, is not back this year. Laufenberg completes it to Walter Wilson.
Pass complete to Walter Wilson.
Wilson steps out of bounds at the 36.
Can't overemphasize the fact, though, when you see the National Football League, you remember they've had mini camps in the spring. They had the month-long camps. They had the 4 exhibition games, and then they start. These guys came together a month ago, and that's it.
Babe Laufenberg, the gypsy of the World League. He is much traveled.
He has been around. Open that locker. Let's take him through the travel, see where he's been. He's 32 years old.
That's Stanford.
Pierce College, Indiana.
Set a few records in Indiana while he was there. Had a cup of coffee and then some.
Don't forget the quick stop with the Saints.
20, not 21. 20 base. Goal, 20 base.
And the journey continues in the World League for Babe Laufenberg.
Had his best pro year in 1988 in San Diego. He was 69 for 144, 4 touchdowns. Quite a character.
In his spare time, does a little radio, TV work. Even had a Babe Laufenberg fan club start up right after he was drafted.
Oh, it's intact. It's still intact. Sure, he's got guys from Texas, Orlando. He's got them all over. Now he's going into the Midwest.
I tell you, if there's a team in Japan, maybe he'll be on that team too.
He was huge in Washington, D.C. If there was an MVP for the exhibition season, he got it.
That's Bill Logan coming off the field. Amir Rasul with over 100 yards. That's the first time in the history of the Thunder, in their short history, that someone has run for over 100 yards against them. Breaking records every day in the World League.
Throw a flag, offside Thunder. It's not even close.
No.
Watch Rick Andrews. Rick Andrews trying to anticipate the cadence. Just ran across before the ball was even snapped. Watch this right here at the bottom of your screen, 91. There's Andrews. Just anticipates it, comes across, throw the flag now.
91.
He's been slowed down by a calf injury,
Number 91,
too.
defense, 5 yards, first down.
A free agent with Seattle in 1990, played in 15 games.
They call him the take charge guy. He's the leader of this defense. He had 9 tackles in the game last week. Got caught that time.
First down and 10. Laufenberg, the draw. That's Lydell Carr. And Carr keeps those legs turning. Gets over the 20, down to the 19-yard line. Tough running by Lydell Carr.
Andrews, 91, was on the blitz again. He had a chance to get Carr. Watch 91.
Check with me.
All right, there's Carr now. Let's go to the replay, and we'll show you 91. Rick Andrews, he's on the blitz. Comes through. He's got the shot right here for the loss, but doesn't wrap his arms. Body out of control, doesn't break down, and Carr goes on, and big gainer gets the first down.
And we've got a timeout now on the field. Remember last year, Lydell Carr was one of the best short yardage men in the World League. Had 8 touchdowns with the Barcelona Dragons.
Still has the records, 8 straight games, 8 touchdowns.
Out at the University of Oklahoma, played on their 1985 championship team.
Had that 3-year NFL career, but Lydell Carr was always hurt. Boy, remember, he was the player of the game against Penn State in the Orange Bowl. Remember that? Played so well.
Scored a touchdown in the game.
Come on up.
Carr a little homesick, though, and back on this side of the world this year. Ohio with 4 wide receivers in. Blomberg. He's got it into the end zone. Incomplete. And he had a man open, Melvin Patterson, in the back of the end zone, but the ball was knocked away. Malcolm Frank was right there.
They wanted pass interference. See, he's saying you can't touch him. He's right by the rule. You can't bang him. Okay, here comes Patterson. Breaks to the outside. Here it looks like a touchdown. And here comes 20 Frank with the push inside, playing him inside out. Looking for the ball now in any other conference. That's fair. He's got as much right to that ball as anybody else. But what Larry Little's saying, they're trying to alleviate the contact between those two in this league by rule. No call.
That brings us to 2nd and 10. Orlando showing blitz and maybe getting there a little early.
False start.
Okay, calm down, Joe. Calm down, Joe.
This one goes.
Let's go.
We'll see you after the game.
That's the scissors. He's never reads the scissors man on the screen.
Talking about Babe Laufenberg not reading the scissors man on the screen. That's Wally English, the offensive coordinator, standing next to Larry Little.
Ohio moving the ball on this possession. 2nd and 15. Screen pass to Rasul. Rasul tackled to the 22-yard line by Mike Nettles, the free safety. Nettles, 200 pounds, out of Memphis State University. The basketball team had a big win.
Ohio with a good drive here, Mark, but you have to look at the Thunder. They played well defensively. They've only given up 3 points, and this is a team that was last in total defense in this league last year. They gave up 360 yards a game and 29 points. So it's been vastly improved, but that's being challenged now by the Glory.
Ball on the 22, 3rd down and 12. Ohio trailing by 10 points with 3:43 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Adam Walker's in the backfield. Laufenberg gets it to that's Walker, and Walker makes it down to the 5-yard line. Nice play by the Glory. They got the first down.
There's the experience of Laufenberg. We told you he's well-traveled. He's been around. He's done it all. Laufenberg had patience. He waited. Sell the play first. Here he is, drops back, looks, sell, sell, sell. Everybody's sold now. Break him out of the pack, throw it underneath. Here comes your guy, Walker. You get it to him first down. Well-designed play and well executed. Gain of 17 for Laufenberg and Walker.
First and goal on the 5. Ohio's deepest penetration of the day. Laufenberg hands it off to Rasul. Rasul with a touchdown.
Touchdown.
But there's a flag down on the far side of the field. Let's get the call.
Number 78, defense. Lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Carl Dunbar is the guilty party. Nonetheless, the run stands. Amir Rasul, what a great day he's having.
Rasul scoring the first touchdown in the history of the Ohio Glory.
Hell of a drive, baby. Good job, baby.
I'll tell you this, the fans in Ohio should be encouraged by what they've seen so far. We'll be there next week.
And we'll have their game against the Sacramento Surge, also winners yesterday.
Hope all that snow they had last night melts by next week.
Jerry Cork knows something about snow. Bad snap. And O'Hara has to fall on it. So special teams again coming into focus, this time failing Ohio.
See, now this is not a bad snap. Watch Pat O'Hara. It just comes right through his hands. Look at this. This is the way he's set up. Everything's fine. Here comes the snap. See where it is. Chest high. Perfect. Put it down. He loses it. And that's it. The miscue. We tell you they don't get enough practice time on special teams.
This is Bell back on his own 3. Bell out to the 27-yard line. And another look at that touchdown, Tim. Nice run by Rasul.
It was because Rasul, he was supposed to take it off tackle, but he sees that's clogged, so he kicks it outside. Here comes number 26. Glenn Rogers has a shot at the tackle. Rasul just breaks that and takes it in for the score. He has been so strong today. Look at the numbers. 112 yards. 7.5 yards per carry.
2:32 remains in the third quarter.
Line.
There's a look at Scott Mitchell. The backup quarterback is Kerwin Bell, and Julie Moran is standing by with him. Julie?
Kerwin, it was a lock in most people's minds that coming into this season that you would be the starting quarterback. This has to be disappointing for you.
It is. You know, I felt like I won the job, and it was just taken away, and it's hard to buy it. But I'm here to support my team and do whatever I can. But, you know, the coaches made a decision, but I just got to go out and be ready to play.
But I hear you and Scott Mitchell have a good relationship. I even hear you played golf yesterday.
Yeah, you know, there's nothing against Scott. He come down to play, and I come here to play. And, you know, it's the coaches that made decisions. Scott's a great guy, and we get along real good. We did play golf yesterday. I'm not too good, but we did play.
How important is it for you to get this starting position back?
Well, you know, I'm just going to be here and work hard. I don't know what's going to happen as far as if I'm going to be here or not for the whole season or what. But, you know, I know that the position was not, I did not lose the position. It was taken from me for some unknown reason. And but I just got to keep working hard and be ready to play and help this team any way I can.
Thanks, Kerwin. Best of luck. Back to you, Mark.
Okay, Julie. Scott Mitchell has taken this position by the throat.
He's played well, too. Not just throwing the ball, Mark, but he's been smart. He's run the offense effectively. He's mixed the plays. Of course, the plays are being called from the sidelines, but he's read the defense and audibilized extremely well.
Right now, it's 3rd and 10 for Mitchell. Thunder with the ball on their own 29-yard line. Over the middle, he completes the pass to Willie Davis. Davis this time hanging on to it with both hands. Remember, he's dropped 2 that landed right in his arms this afternoon.
40.
Gain of 13 yards on the play.
He is now 18 for 30, 175 yards. Extremely composed back there and looks at every receiver. He'll look off the guys and come back to his second and third receivers every play.
Willie Davis, property of the Kansas City Chiefs. Came to the Thunder in that enhancement allocation draft. This is Roger Vick. Gets about 2 yards before Mike Sunvold stops him up. He led the charge.
You know, also when you talk about Mitchell and Bell and the competition they've had, of course, Bell had that quick start, was player of the game the first 2 weeks last year when the World League started, but then he really struggled. It was partially the offense, partially the calls from Coach Matthews back then, but, you know, he just disappeared and didn't have the effect that he had those first couple of games, and I think that hurt him. It's carried over.
Galen Hall told us yesterday that he thought because of the TV exposure that a lot of teams got a hold of their offense and heard the calls. 2nd down and 8. Tommy Stowers on the carry. Stowers tripped up at the 43 by Sunvold again, in on his 2nd consecutive tackle.
I'll tell you another thing, too. Don Shula has been very active. A lot of the NFL coaches have been very active and vocal here in this league. I know Paul Tagliabue has been. And you have a guy like Mitchell coming from the Dolphins. He comes in. Now he's getting the repetitions that he doesn't get during a regular season, playing behind Dan Marino, who takes every snap in practice.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. The Thunder will start the 4th quarter with the ball on their own 42. We'll return with more World League action after word from our ABC station. Scott Mitchell is looking at 3rd down and 10 with the ball on his own 42-yard line.
All right, give me what's inside 5 call. Here we go. Let's go flush. 84. Ready?
Orlando leads 13-9. The Thunder with 4 wideouts.
China 50. China 50. Hot, hot.
Mitchell incomplete at the 42-yard line. That was intended for Dennis Airy. And Jason Wallace broke it up. It was Joe Howard Johnson, pardon me.
Joe Howard Johnson with 6 catches. That was a tough one to make, though. He had 2 defenders all over him. They double covered him. They had a 2-deep cover, so the safety came up to help the defensive back. Almost impossible to make that catch.
Ohio playing well here in the 2nd half. Had a nice drive for the score, and now they'll get the ball back after the punt. Melvin Patterson takes it on his 10. Not much happening on the return. Tackled down at the 12 by Stacy Simmons.
Number 85, Stacy.
So the Babester will get another shot. When we come back, it's 13-9. 13-9. A look at the 3rd quarter stats. Amir Rasul has accounted for most of those 141 Ohio rushing yards. 181 yards passing for Orlando, and the time of possession, Tim, almost dead even.
Simply the difference in game plans. Ohio said they wanted to establish the run. They have. They've got the big advantage there. And then Orlando, of course, wanted to stay 4 wide, no huddle, and throw. And they've done that effectively.
Rasul with 112 yards. 1st down and 10. Babe Laufenberg has gone the distance this afternoon. The toss to Rasul. Rasul run out of the bounds at the 17.
Carr got a good block. Patrick Jackson, the wide receiver, got a good block. Now, I'll tell you what I would come back with. With what has happened, what's been so effective with Rasul, I'd come back now with a reverse because you've got the defense hard after him.
Well, I hope there's a yardage clause in his contract because right now he's off to a good start. And want to remind you that each of the players in the World League with a base salary of $20,000, unless you're a kicker or a punter, you get 15. Rasul out over the 20-yard line, down to 21. Dean Witkowski making the tackle that time.
Right side, black guy left, counter 37, boot right.
We talked about the salary structure. Here's how it stacks up. $15,000 to kickers and punters. Other players get 20. Quarterbacks, $25,000. $2,500 bonus for making the playoffs.
And see, there's your incentive clauses too for quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers. Again, Dave Laufenberg said his paycheck is saying himself. Decimal point has just been in the place of the comma.
The toss to Rasul. Rasul on 3rd and 1 that time. Out close to the 1st down. Last year, Stan Gelbaugh was the highest paid player in the World League. The MVP of the league making $95,000.
It's going to be close. We'll see if we have a measurement here because he is awfully close to the 1st down markers, and this is a big, big measurement for Ohio.
13:21 remaining in the fourth quarter here.
Very little doesn't think he got it. His team's coming out, the punt team.
Sticks come in for the measurement.
We've got 13:21 left in the ball game. It's 13-9. He trails. He did get it.
You got it. Just run it now. Run it. Hey,
All right,
Action Jackson in the game.
All right, see, here we go. Here comes the reverse. Action Jackson's coming in the game. All right, that's going to be Patrick Jackson, and this is what I was talking about 2 plays ago. The defense is coming so hard, the pursuit so fast after Rasul. Now is the time they're set up. Let Rasul carry it, give the reverse to Jackson, and come back the other way. This is what we were talking about in this last series.
Jackson, one of the fastest receivers on that Ohio team. Let's watch this one. There it is.
Get him a block to the outside. Got it early.
Action Jackson trips up at the 42. Patrick Jackson showing his speed there. Todd Crum with a tackle, a gain of 28 yards on the play.
Laufenberg even gets a break. This thing, everything's coming this way. Here comes all the defenses coming that way. Bring him around. Now you got to set up the wall. Watch how this is set up. We've talked about it for 3 plays now. The over pursuit. Stop right here. Now look, all the green jerseys are on this side. Laufenberg gets the block right here. Let that thing roll. This is perfection. And it was set up so nicely by the success of Amir Rasul.
Dave Laufenberg with a block on the play too. Rasul gets this carry. And he'll lose a yard or 2. Chris Mitchell, a good penetration that time. Along with Carl Dunbar.
Counter 37, boot right.
Hey, this is fun, huh? World League cooking.
Looking at Dunbar there, he said that when he worked at that drug enforcement agency, he said that every bus was like playing in the Super Bowl. What a he got from 11. I'm not sure I want that line of work, though. Need danger pay. 2nd down and 11. Laufenberg, little play action. Lydell Carr with the reception. It's ruled a catch for the 49-yard line. Malcolm Frank moving up to make a big hit.
Check with me, 79 all here wouldn't be bad now. Get the first down, babe. Get the first down.
Malcolm Frank, one of the more steady players in that secondary for Orlando.
Passing game has been almost nil, but the way the offensive line's firing out for Ohio, haven't really needed it. 3rd down and long.
Laufenberg steps up to the line. 4 receivers now for Ohio. Steps up, throws incomplete, but there's a flag down on the play. The pass is intended for Rasul.
Going to be holding, I believe, against Ken Vines, the center.
Oh, why you want to do that?
Come on, coach. Come on.
And Dunbar talking a little trash.
Yeah, you can't hold me.
Dunbar talking a little trash to Laufenberg, too.
Oh, you play that just.
Holding. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
He's tough. Oh, is he tough? He was raised by an Army drill sergeant. That's what his dad does. He plays like one.
Carl Dunbar, 6'4", 272 out of LSU. Tom Ruin now in to punt it away for Ohio. They're looking for another player on the field. Seconds in between plays in the World League. Joe Howard back for the return. Ruin juggles the snap. Gets off a high kick. And Joe Howard Johnson makes the fair catch at the 11-yard line. Nice kick by Ruin that time. 20 remaining. Looking at the Thunder Girls performing here in Orlando, Florida. It's 13-9. Orlando leads Ohio.
How about New York, New Jersey? Jump back on top of London. Montreal out in front of San Antonio. You know, last year a lot of people got seasick jumping on and off the bandwagon of this World League. Play is much improved. Be there or be square. This is going to be fun this year.
That San Antonio team will be a tough one to beat this year. Mike Riley back as head coach. interviewed by the Pittsburgh Steelers this year for their head coaching job. 1st and 10. Darryl Wlaf on the run. Wlaf is out over the 15 to the 18-yard line. Tim James coming up to make the tackle from a strong safety spot.
Mark, we talked about the World League. The reason I'm convinced now that this is going to make is because the NFL is going to put about $50 million into this league over the next 3 years. And to them, it's almost an insurance policy in case there's a strike or anything else like that in the NFL.
Here's Wlaf again. The guy who's played in the NFL turns the corner a bit. Out up to the 27-yard line.
Plus, the National Football League wants to go global, not only with merchandising, but eventually with play. That's why they have so many exhibition games over there in Tokyo and in London. And I think they're just opening up the world.
40,000 in Wembley Stadium today. Yesterday, 26,000 in Barcelona.
Number 9.
Have a player down on the field now for Ohio. That's number 98, Charles Jackson. Jackson, a very interesting story. He played for Orlando last year, and he's out of Jackson State, but he really wanted to go to Bethune-Cookman, Tim, and what happened was he wanted to take his visit, but they sent for the wrong guy. By the time Little found out, it was too late. He had signed. We're going to take a short break and come back. 13-9.
Orlando Thunder last year, and he was let go. He was immediately picked up by the Ohio Glory, and now he's a nose guard for Ohio. He says this reunion has been bittersweet for him because he loved playing down here in Florida, but he was a little help on the way to the game today. The bus driver for Ohio got lost, and Charles helped him out. He knew the way to the stadium.
Back to the field. The pass is complete to Grantis Bell, who is wide open on the far sideline. Mitchell found him for a gain of 22 yards.
All the guys over there on the Ohio sideline said his feet weren't in. They wanted an incomplete call.
That's the first down. Ball is at the 49 of Orlando.
19!
8:55 remaining in the game. Handoff is to Darryl Wlaf. Wlaf with a nice move to elude a tackler down to the 39, but there's a flag on the play. George Kuntz, the linebacker, making the tackle.
Jason Wallace is shaken up for Ohio, too.
Jason Wallace has had a strong game for Ohio this afternoon. Close call on the far sideline just a few moments ago. Here's another look at it.
There's possession. His knees were on the ground. That's a good catch, good call.
I want to tell you that in the World League, you need 2 feet to land inbounds on a pass reception.
There is no penalty on the play.
Jason Wallace obviously in pain.
First down.
Wallace out of Virginia as we look at his injury.
Here he is, the bottom of the screen, comes in to make a tackle. It looks like his knee just buckled right under it. Oh, it's his left leg.
They're going to miss him on the corner. Former All-ACC and 90 at Virginia. We'll be back in just a minute.
Tell me what I had here.
You had him completely out of bounds.
Oh, his knees.
His knees, the ball, and everything was out of bounds.
No, watch this. His knees touch their inbounds, Larry. That's a good catch. Has possession, has his knees down. The official's right. I'll differ with you all day as long as I'm up here in the booth 200 yards away from you.
I got $10. It says you don't tell him that after the game, though. 1st and 10 from the 40 for Orlando. 2 tight ends in the game.
$10, I might do it.
Play action. Mitchell to the far sideline for Grantis Bell. Incomplete.
Pass intended for Bill, covering defensively for the Glory.
And San Antonio moving ahead now of the Montreal Machine, coached by Jacques Dussault.
18!
Solid performance by Scott Mitchell today. He's been strong since the beginning.
2nd and 10. Take out the 2 tight ends, put in 2 wide receivers. They've got 4 on the field. out of the shotgun. Throws it complete to Stacy Simmons. Makes a nice move down to the 27-yard line.
And also moves the chains. It's another first down, and time becomes a factor now. 7:45 remaining in the ball game. And with a 13-9 lead for the Thunder, now Ohio's got to start gambling a little bit more. Somehow they got to get that ball back.
Nigel Codrington replaces Jason Wallace on the corner. This time they hand the ball off. Darryl Flack down to the 25-yard line. Well, Saturday championship hopes bring eternal on ABC Sports. First, the road to bowling's Triple Crown starts with the $300,000 Bud Light PBA National Championship. Then it's one of the biggest events in golf. Three-time winner Amy Alcott defends her title as coverage of the Nabisco Dinah Shore begins. It's all live Saturday on ABC.
Check 70. Check
Tommy
70.
Stowers in the backfield now. Mitchell rolls out to his left, looks downfield, nobody open. And it's pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
What happened is intended receiver fell down. He was looking for Simmons, but he fell down on his cut. There was nowhere to go, so he just ran out of bounds.
Chad Rowland applying the pressure that time for Ohio.
Watch the outside receiver. He's rolling to his left. Stop it right here. Here's Simmons right here. Simmons goes down. Now he doesn't have anybody to throw to. Everybody else is covered, and so he runs out of bounds. Good, smart play.
Third down and 11. Ohio needs a stop with 6.5 remaining in regulation. Remember, we do play overtime in the World League. Mitchell, incomplete, intended for Joe Howard Johnson. I mentioned the overtime period. It's a 10-minute period. Each team guaranteed one possession of the ball. The lone exception being that if a team drives all the way down the field after receiving the kickoff and scores, as time expires, that will be the end of the game.
Well, that's right. The winner will be the team scoring the most points, obviously, but in an equal number of possessions.
Tracy Bennett now in to attempt a field goal from 47 yards out. It's a clean snap.
Not going to get it.
And this one falls 2 yards short.
6:08 left. Ohio still very much alive.
Ohio needing a touchdown to move ahead. A field goal does them no good. 6:08 remaining in Orlando. We're back. We're looking at Joe Howard Johnson, and here's the story. Ohio has the ball on its own 30-yard line. They trail by 4 points.
Okay, man,
and this is a very important drive for them with time running down.
Absolutely, but not time to panic. With 6 minutes left, the running game's been going. Just use up the entire clock, jam it down, score, and the ball game's yours.
Play action. Laufenberg to pass under heavy pressure, eludes it. And he's run out of bounds at the 27-yard line by who else? The battering ram, Mr. Dunbar.
Carl Dunbar.
Carl Dunbar, a busy camper this afternoon.
Watch him, number 78. Gets down, gets back up. Here comes the pressure, flushed out of the pocket. Babe's on the run. Here comes Dunbar. He's back on his feet, chases him all the way, knocks him out of bounds. Big play.
All right, man, you got to give me the white.
A loss of 3 on the play. Second and 13 now.
That's some pursuit for a guy that's 6'4", 272.
Laufenberg looks to his left. It's incomplete. Intended for Phil Logan.
All right, you know what I can't understand here? Ohio has been extremely strong with its running game. The offensive line's been controlling the line of scrimmage. Amir Rasul has been over 100 yards. He had 96 in the first half. So why get away from the running game with 6 minutes left and start throwing the ball?
They don't need the big play here. They have a lot of time remaining.
What happened on that 6?
Well, they need a big play now because it's third and almost 15.
Laufenberg back to pass. Steps up. Fires complete, wide open over the middle to Action Jackson. Patrick Jackson with a first down for the Glory. Ephraim Thomas making the tackle, but a big third down conversion and a gain of 21 yards.
I'll tell you this, Babe Laufenberg has not been throwing the ball very effectively today, but you roll this play, you'll see what he does. He's experienced. He's in the pocket. He comes out, buys time, and then throws across his body into the open seam. He found the area, found the hole, found the weakness, and went right to it and threw a strike.
Patrick Action Jackson. They just call him Action. If he catches and runs as well as he talks, he'll make all world this year. Just a real enjoyable chatterbox on the field. First down and 10. The ball at the 49-yard line. Here's Jackson again. Action down to the 43-yard line and a fumble.
Did they blow him down is the question. No.
Todd Crum made the fumble recovery, and Orlando has the ball. Mike Nettles caused the fumble. And Larry Little can't catch a break this afternoon.
Boy, he really can't catch a break. He thinks the ball, was knocked loose by the ground. If that's the case, it shouldn't have been a fumble. This reverse worked for a big yardage the last time they ran it. Here it picks up 6.
Man was down.
I think he was down. I agree with you, Larry. I think the ground did cause that ball to come loose, and that's not supposed to be a fumble.
Well, there's just 4:07 remaining now. Crucial turnover that time for the Glory.
Next week we're going to Ohio. We'll see the Glory again against Sacramento. Want to pass along our best wishes to Peter Hadhazy, the general manager there with the Ohio Glory. A little bit under the weather, couldn't make this trip, so he's watching it at home.
Ohio doing a good job today in their World League debut. Coming off a big loss, 33-7 loss against San Antonio in their tiebreaker game, their preseason game. Scott Mitchell going the distance with the Thunder.
38.
Scott Mitchell having a tough time getting a call. He couldn't decipher whether it was 38 or 48. So.
I can't hear you. With this music on, I can't hear you. What's the play? 38. Right on. Don't protect the ball.
I got to tell you, last year, I had players from the World League telling me they were picking up all kinds of things in their radioed helmet, the quarterbacks. Once in Frankfurt, Mike Perez told me that he was picking up airplanes from the nearby Air Force Base.
38! 38!
They've refined the system.
38! Ready?
And it's working efficiently now.
Well, the music here was causing a problem. He couldn't decipher if it was 38 or 48.
19! 19!
Ohio with 3 timeouts remaining. A handoff to Platt. Out to the 46-yard line.
All right, so the clock now under 4 minutes. They make a stop there. It'll be second down and almost 10. They've got 3 timeouts left. You don't want to use them all now, but you do have to start thinking about it if you're Ohio.
22!
If you're Orlando, what do? Can you afford to get conservative now?
Well, sure, you want to melt the clock, but no, you don't want to get to the point where you're just not picking up any yards either. I'd throw the ball here. Because that's what they do best.
Second and 9, they throw. Pass incomplete and intercepted. Nigel Codrington gives Ohio a second life.
How about this? Big play by Codrington.
Ohio will get the ball on its own 47-yard line with 3:27 remaining and great field position.
Thanks to our spotters for today's game, Bruce Watts and Wlaf.
If I'm not mistaken, Tim, that was Willie Davis again with a catchable ball that he missed.
No question about it. Mitchell did all he could. He put the ball right there. It was catchable. It was well thrown.
That's the third one this afternoon for Davis.
That's what we want in there.
Keep in mind, Ohio needs a touchdown. A field goal won't do them any good.
First and 10 for Laufenberg. They're coming on the blitz. They hand it off to Rasul. Rasul puts it on the ground, but Ohio gets it back.
Talked about how cleanly this game has been played, how few turnovers there's been, and all of a sudden you see a fumble, an interception, and now the ball's loose here again on 3 straight plays.
To the football.
Ben Jefferson making the fumble recovery that time.
Just trying to get extra yardage, and it was stripped away by Robert Pressbury.
And a nice gain that time. Second and 3. Rasul, the workhorse. Bounces it outside. Turns it up. Amir Rasul down to the 29-yard line. Maurice Crum running him out of bounds.
Boy, here's a guy with explosion and speed. He almost took it to another level once he got to the outside. He got the block on the corner from Melvin Patterson, the wide receiver, and just turned it up. Now, here's a guy that spent time with the Buffalo Bills. He was a 7th-round draft pick, ran for over 1,000 yards his senior year at Florida A&M. He's a talent.
Yeah.
This Ohio team would love nothing more than to give that man a win in his pro coaching debut.
Okay, let's go talk 38.
Rasul plows his way to the 22.
2-minute warning.
Larry Little needs a little help from his son, who's working the sidelines with him, pulling the cable. Great finish coming up at 13-9. 2 minutes to go.
Okay, and now just tell them to get back and hold on to the football because the ball is slippery. Okay?
Taking care of a little housework here, telling them the ball's slippery. It's been raining for 3 quarters here. The ball is slippery, still coming down. Now you've got 2 minutes left in the ball game.
A big second-half turnaround for Babe Laufenberg at quarterback.
But the missed extra point means they've got to score a touchdown. Field goal won't help them here and get them into overtime.
They're looking at 2nd down and 3. Rasul and Carr the back. The toss to Rasul. And he may have lost a yard on that carry. Carl Dunbar, who else in on the tackle?
He wants another timeout. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 4. They've got to rethink this thing now.
Ohio with 2 timeouts remaining now.
The goddamn man.
Live television.
Oh, next Sunday on ABC Sports, World League football hits hard with regional action. 1991 Western Division champion Birmingham Fire meet their rivals, the San Antonio Riders, or Sacramento surges east to meet the Ohio Glory. That's where we'll be next week, live at 1 Eastern, 12 noon, Central and Pacific, next week on ABC.
Red eye left, 37 power on. Okay. Tell the guys they got to get it done up front.
Those guys up front are Graybill, Mold, Bynes, Harmon, and Jefferson. The front 5 for Ohio. He says they've got to get it done now. They've got to protect Babe.
They've used, Ohio did use anyway, 2 of their first 3 picks in the draft to get their 2 big offensive tackles.
Ben Jefferson and Mike Graybill.
Time to pay off. 34, 33, pardon me. Rasul will be short.
But you've got to go for it here. You've got to go for it on 4th down and a long 3. Actually, it's a long 2 now. Obviously, he didn't like the call before it even ran.
1:41 to go. And Laufenberg heads to the sideline to talk it over with Little.
So the officials wrap up the football in a towel. The clock stops. We've got 1:41 left. And we'll listen in.
We need 3 yards. That's a short pattern.
You want gold, 40 or 50? I'd rather probably go gold. All right. You think?
Gold, 40 or 50.
You going to audibilize to it, or you just want to call it in the huddle? Okay, let's call on the line.
Let's go quick.
Or go 58. You're going to go 58 or 48. They play the nickel back on the halfback. Okay, coach, bring him in. Well, we got
all right, come on, babe. Take your time now. Get it to him now. You're going to give me time.
We only got 2 yards to go. Run it short.
All right, let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Go.
All right, so now Babe is going to throw it. He wants to make it happen. They're trying to isolate the linebacker on the halfback. It is 4th down. They need about 3.
2 yards himself. There's 3 on the board.
And 51 seconds remain in that game. London leading the Knights by a field goal.
Find out if the experience of Laufenberg pays off. when you get a first down, when there's less than 2 minutes to play. So the clock stops until the referee signals play to start again.
Action Jackson makes amends for that earlier fumble with a big first down reception.
I want to tell you, that's a tough catch, too. That ball was down low.
Let us go. Laufenberg calling on his NFL experience. The ball is at the 19. First and 10. He completes another one. This one to Lydell Carr, who gets out of bounds.
Again, they tried to isolate the halfback on the linebacker. It didn't happen because Chris Mitchell, the safety, came up, but still, it was the same effect. Take the halfback out, come underneath with their back, and just hit him quickly.
Two back.
Another look at this one. Tight end. Bethel there was limping. Lydell Carr with a big catch.
Timing pattern, 1, 2, 3 step drop. Get it out to your tight end. Here's Bethel. And you get the safety coming up on him. So you pick up 5 yards on that play because there's no bumping. You can't come up if you're a defensive back and make contact with the receiver. That's illegal.
Second and 5. There you look at the timeout situation. Into the end zone. And it's ruled incomplete. Into the end zone to Walter Wilson.
He made the catch, thrown out of bounds. They still need 5 with a minute 5 left in the game. This, too, is a timing pattern. Throw it up, let him run under. He's not even looking yet. Now he looks back over his left shoulder. He's got him beaten. The ball's just a step outside. 1 foot in? No, you need 2. He didn't have any.
Good decision to go into the end zone on second down. And a look at Larry Little.
He thought he had it.
Another big third down. 5 yards to go. Everyone covered. Laufenberg completes it, but there's a flag down on the play.
Now this is going to be interesting to see if it's offensive or defensive pass interference. It looks like it's going to be against the defense. But there was contact and they threw the flag. You cannot have contact.
Illegal contact.
Illegal contact. No, it had to be downfield.
If this goes against Ohio, Larry Little's going to go crazy.
6 or 7.
Hold up, Joe. Now listen. Where is the ball?
Wait a minute, Larry. The officials don't even know.
Penalty takers?
Number 43 defense. The penalty is declined. Take the result of the play. First down again.
So the contact was made by the free safety, Todd Crum. It goes against Orlando. A break for Ohio with 55 seconds left.
You wonder a little bit if that's the result of Larry Little working the referees throughout the game. He was due.
All right, they don't take the penalty. They got the first down. Now, again, the clock stops because you're under 2 minutes.
Laufenberg to pass. Steps up, throws incomplete and intercepted. Malcolm Frank with the INT. Dies in the end zone.
Not a smart play, though, by an NFL veteran. Stop it right there. Don't move a thing. Babe's got an alley right here. There's nobody. Look at this. That's all his. Instead, he decides to throw a very difficult pass across his body. And the coverage, he throws right into coverage, and Frank picks it off.
He tried to find Melvin Patterson. That was Ohio's 3rd turnover of the day, and easily the most costly one.
Ohio, that's their 3rd and last charge timeout.
Malcolm Frank with great coverage. Had him all the way.
The defensive coaching staff described Frank as the most steady performer back there in the secondary.
Oh, what a play after working so hard to get it down. Not a wise decision by Babe Laufenberg. Listen to the response of Larry Little now. Let's listen to him. see the running lane Babe had up the middle?
Ohio is out of timeouts.
That's a shame. Babe worked awfully hard to get him down there, came up with clutch plays, capitalized until right at the very end.
Converted on a couple of big third downs on that drive, too.
Nobody's more frustrated in the ballpark than Babe Laufenberg. He knows it.
Orlando fans, Thunder fans will go home happy this afternoon. Galen Hall, head coach, last year's offensive coordinator, ready to notch his first W as head coach of the Thunder.
So Orlando, which was 5-5 last year, now 1-0, and this guy will go to 0-1.
Good game, Gale. Good game. See you in a couple. All right, well, take care, man.
A lot of mutual respect on the part of those two coaches, Galen Hall and Larry Little. Orlando's season opener ends 13-9. Scott Mitchell leads them to the first victory of the season. We'll be back with a little more right after this. The Glory 13-9. Julie Moran is standing by with the victorious coach, Galen Hall. Julie?
Coach, you pulled out a close one here.
Well, it wasn't very pretty. We just turned the ball offensively and weren't very consistent again. We held on to win, very happy about it.
Any changes for next week?
Well, hopefully we'll play better. We're going to have to. We're going to have to look at the film and improve.
Were you pleased with the play of Scott Mitchell this week?
Yes, I was. I think Scott has shown that he's a good player, and I think he'll get better every game.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, Julie, so Galen Hall's choice to go with Scott Mitchell over Kerwin Bell is justified here today as Orlando wins 13-9. Tim, your impressions?
Well, I'll tell you this. I agree with him. Mitchell played a very strong game. You can tell he's an NFL-type quarterback, and I think he is by far the best quarterback between those two, although I don't think Kerwin Bell will agree with me right now. But the last play, I'm still surprised by Babe Laufenberg. Worked so hard, made big decisions, came up with the big plays to get down in the scoring position. And then, watch this play. He had the opportunity to run it. The alley opens wide open after he sidesteps the pursuit here and then throws into coverage. He could have at least gotten down to the 5-yard line, but Frank picks it off, and there's the ball game.
Well, for Coach Larry Little, next week they take on the Sacramento Surge, but nothing to be ashamed of today. They came along and moved the ball in the second half, and that's a look at the guy that made the big play, Malcolm Frank, of the Orlando Thunder.
He had it covered all the way. Great coverage on the play. Nobody had the quarterback, and Frank just made the pick, wins the ball game. If you're out in Ohio, turn out next week. This is a pretty good ball club, and the Thunder show that they are vastly improved this year as well.
Ohio Stadium will be the venue for the game. As the North American East Division a thankful Orlando team.
Orlando goes to 1-0. Ohio goes to 0-1. Orlando goes to 1-0, rather.
As I started to mention, that North American East Division stacking up to be a very competitive one, as it was last year. A couple of teams tying with identical records. We have tight competition in the World League. Lipton Tennis is coming up next. It's Chang against Mancini. $200,000 going to the winner. For Tim Brandt, I'm Mark Jones. Come on back. See more World League next week.
Next, ABC Sports travels to Key Biscayne, Florida for one of the biggest events in tennis. Michael Chang meets Alberto Mancini in the men's final of the Lipton International Players Championship live. World League Football has been brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Nobody's cooking like today's KFC. By Kellogg's, proud sponsor of our 1992 U.S. Olympic team. By Old Spice Conditioning Hydrogel. It's the simple solution to saving face. And by Microsoft, making personal computing easier. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
Lubbock, some light accumulations are possible here. And in the Pacific Northwest, it's the Pineapple Pipeline. Moisture from